About 85 to 90% of my clients come to me with this three-step scenario that they just experienced in their relationship, and they are blindsided and devastated. And this is how I know that I can take a pretty educated guess that they were in a relationship with a dismissive avoidant. Step one is a honeymoon phase where there is warmth and vulnerability and not what we think of as the extreme love bombing that can be associated with someone who's more fearful avoidant or someone who is more anxiously attached and the pursuer. But definitely things are great. Things are moving in the right direction. The person that they meet is expressing their feelings, is talking about the future, showing up for them consistently, all that good stuff. Step two is a pretty darn good relationship. So there is a shift that is happening, but it is so subtle and nuanced and imperceptible that my client honestly really couldn't tell often until we examine it in hindsight. The person that they're seeing wasn't expressing any concerns. Nothing seemed wrong. They weren't communicating any issues, but there was, if we look back on it, a slow, nuanced withdrawal and lack of warmth decreasing from how it was in the original stage. And then stage three is a breakup where the person says something along the lines of, I just couldn't get there with you. I don't think we're in love. I just don't have that spark with you. I hear that a lot from clients, something along those lines, something kind of vague and ambiguous. And they will give my client a relatively short conversation, and then they will probably stop communicating with my client. And if my client does get communication with them afterwards, usually the person is almost a different person. They almost seem like a totally different human being than who they originally met, and they have a very short leash for having a conversation and really just want to get conversations over as fast as possible, even if they are willing to talk. Now, this is not to say that this is a bad person if this is a dismissive avoidant. I could do videos on the avoidance experience of dating a more anxiously attached person. The reason I focus on this dynamic is because it is the majority of my clients and who I think people probably in this community as well. It's not about anyone being a bad person. We do need to take responsibility for our actions, but all of the insecure attachment styles and frankly secure people can show up in ways that are unsavory as well. But the reason I say this is because it's so easy to personalize this situation. And if you've been through it, it is excruciating and scary to go through it. And so I want to just validate and empathize quite literally because I've been through it, and validate your feelings and how difficult it is, but also help you in depersonalizing, because so much of our suffering comes from, oh, what did I do? It was me. I must have changed something, or they, noticed something in me that they didn't see before. And the reality is it really has everything to do with their nervous system and their fears and their wounds. But if you are someone who is going through this,
if you're someone who has gone through this right now, I am booking new compatibility calls for the first time. I think last time I opened a bunch was in June. I think they're coming in August. So if you're interested in personalized one-on-one coaching in my program, will help you not only understand and get over the breakup, but set you up for treating and being more secure and confident in enjoying your life, simple or not. You can book a free compatibility call and a link in my bio. You can also join Patreon if you want weekly live coaching on our group calls, and it's also going to give you access to my content course, and I hope it helps.